I'm sensing a romance between us. A chemical romance.
I hate everything. Hey, welcome back to Dream Daddy. We're gonna do Damien's roots this time. This is gonna be the last dad in the series. I'm actually sad to see it end, but as much as I love Dream Daddy, the series has to come to an end at some point. We're at the mall with our daughter Amanda, and we're at Hot Topic. Oh hey, Jean Wallets. While Amanda busies herself looking at band t-shirts, I try to find something of interest to myself. Not much of a dad to look at in Dead Goth and Beyond. Let's peruse the band t-shirts. I barely know any of these bands. Cannibal Bone Party doesn't seem like the music I enjoy, but they must be really happy that a retail outlet is carrying their merchandise. I hope their parents are really proud of them. Look, this is very important to me. I overhear a stifled argument over the cash register. An older gentleman is carrying a garment and showing it to a bored-looking cashier with pink hair. I can see that. Don't know what to tell you, dude. I just work here.
Oh my.
Listen, when I bought this online, the website said this blouse was Victorian-inspired. However, when I received it, it clearly held the trademark of Edwardian dressage. Do you want a coupon? I can give you a coupon. Will you leave if I give you a coupon? Is there a manager present? People have to know what they're buying. I am the manager.
Huh.
I see. Well, it would seem that I have outstayed my welcome. Good day, shopkeep. Your superiors will receive a strongly worded letter by post. Whatever, dude. The man whirls around and storms out, his literal coattails trailing behind him. I can't tell if they're Victorian-inspired or Edwardian in nature. Amanda drops up to me with a t-shirt in hand. Oh boy, here it comes. Alright, we're gonna skip ahead to the first dates.
Welcome. You've got dads.
Alright, we're gonna message Damien. How do you do? I have finally decided to join this information superhighway. I'm not entirely sure how this works, but I will try my best to understand. I love long strolls through graveyards and spending time with my son. If you would ever like to chat about the latest in Victorian fashion, the inevitability of our own demise, or black cats, please send me a letter. I feel like Damien's underrated as one of the daddies. So yeah, let's go ahead and message him. Damien seems really interesting. A little odd, but interesting. I think I should hang out with him to get to know him a little better. I navigate to Damien's dadbook page and type out a message. Hey dude, you seem cool. We should hang out sometime. I sit there for a minute before I see that Damien's typing. But then he keeps typing. And typing. Man, is this guy writing a novel? I leave the computer to make some coffee. It's really old-fashioned. And he's still typing. I sip my coffee and the computer finally dings. Oh. Spicy boy, I must confess my excitement to be receiving your kind letter. As you see, I do find myself available to enjoy your company. I must ask for your forgiveness, however, as I believe our first meeting did not paint me in as a gentlemanly manner as I would have liked. Oh, whoa, there's more. Oh gosh, what a mouthful. I would be highly flattered to enjoy your companionship at my residence for an afternoon tea and stroll around my garden. Should it please you, till then, adieu. Yours humbled, D. Bloodmarch. I stare at the screen and reread the letter several more times. Hey, Amanda.
Huh.
Amanda pops out of her room. Her eyes are a little puffy, almost as if she'd been crying. Hey, are you alright?
I'm fine.
Oh, yeah, totally. I'm cool.
Huh.
I just found out the succulent I've been watering and singing to for the last 3 months was actually made of plastic. Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. Even the dirt was fake. Oh, honey. Are you sure that's what all you're upset about?
Oh.
If there's, anything going on, I just want you to know that I'm here for you. And I'll always be here for you. Whether you need a shoulder to cry on or a strong dad to go kick someone's butt, I'm only a phone call away. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate that. But I'm fine, really. I'm unconvinced, but I'll stop badgering her about it. I'm sure she'll tell me when she's ready. Can you help me with something?
Ugh.
Dad, for the last time, I'm not popping your back pimples. Ew. Oh no. Can you interpret this for me? I turn the computer to Amanda and she squints at Damien's message. I just don't understand NetSpeak. Like, is this how you kids communicate with each other now?
Yeah.
Oh, totally. This is the hot new thing. See, Dad? Kids got over saying LOL and LMAO or whatever and decided that what they needed to do was bring it back to the 1800s. So what do I do? Where's your pen and quill? What?
Yeah.
Did you forget to unpack the pen and quill? Dad, how will we address the nobleman in regards to your upcoming debutante ball? Okay, now I know you're messing with me. Father, without a proper chaperone, you'll never end up with a suitor worthy of our land. Or a dowry. Or... So you read Pride and Prejudice for school one time, and now you're reciting things you know about it back to me, aren't you? Like the first 5 pages, then I read a review of the movie. Still got a B though. Great, so what do I say to Damien? I got this. Amanda reaches over me and types on the keyboard.
Yeah.
Sure thing, dude. Regards, Spicy Boy. Amanda hits send and smiles at me. Well, I suppose that's that. I make the short walk over to Damien's house. Well, I guess you can't really call it a house. It's more of a manor, estate. The Gothic architecture looms above it, the other homes in the cul-de-sac. Man, he has a really big house. He must be loaded. I walk past a couple of gargoyles guarding the front door and look around for a doorbell. There doesn't seem to be one. I build a large, ornately carved bat's head door knocker back, and a hollow sound echoes throughout the house as I strike it against the door. I wait several moments before the door slowly creaks open. It's a little creepy, but I enter the home and take a few steps into the foyer, noting the oil portraits of who I assume are dead relatives hanging on the wall. Is this going to turn into a bad indie horror game? As I'm admiring them, the front door slams shut behind me. Hello? Silence. An oil lamp in the corner flickers dimly, casting ominous shadows against the wall. Why do I feel like all the people in these paintings are staring straight at me? Why is it so cold in here? Where's Damien? Spicy Boy, pleasure to have you in my home. I look up and see Damien standing at the top of a majestic staircase with a walking candle holder. What's with the doors slamming shut? Oh, sorry. There was a draft. And the door creaking open when I knocked? I accidentally left the door unlocked. And the creepy oil paintings? I like oil paintings. Right. Right. Please, let me show you around. Okay. Damien leads me around his house, showcasing his parlor, sitting room, auxiliary sitting room, and the parlor again for some reason. Man, he has a lot of rooms. This is one of the older homes on the block, yes, but nowhere near as old as the architecture might suggest. Through extensive renovations, I have been able to craft a residence that is both historically accurate to the Victorian period and equipped with the amenities of any modern dwelling. We walk past the door covered in bumper stickers, caution tape, and a black parade poster. Oh, Lucian. Did they listen to My Chemical Romance in the Victorian era? That's my son's room. You know how the rebellious teenage years are. Onward, onward. There's more to see. Just notice that little pooch in the corner. You know what they say about dogs looking like their owners? We reach a door at the end of the hall that Damien opens with a flourish. And this is the library. Sunlight streams in from floor-to-ceiling arched windows. The walls are lined with backed bookshelves, and even more books are scattered over the period-appropriate furniture. Damien is clearly really proud of this room. I look at the windows. I walk to the window and am greeted by a beautiful view of Damien's backyard. It showcases a beautiful view of the rest of the cul-de-sac. Hey, I can see Greg on his lawn. He's doing push-ups with his daughters on his back. Jeez. Damn. He sees me and waves happily, doing push-ups with one hand now. Damn! Did you know that Victorians spent at least 20 hours a week gazing longingly at a full-length windows? Wait, really? No, but Victorians did appreciate telling a good joke. Alright, let's look at those butterflies. I walk up to the glass display of pinned bugs on the wall. It's pretty impressive. Nice bugs. I pinned them all myself. Maybe I could show you how sometime. I'm concerned I would stick the pin right through my finger. Ah, the pinner's gambit. Is that a thing? No. Alright, let's pick up a book. You know, Spicy Boy, in the Victorian era, there was some controversy surrounding reading. Many people thought more tawdry novels would encourage youths into a life of crime and would cause too much of a distraction from work and school. I pull out a book at random and examine the worn cover. Opening it, I turn to a random page and read out loud. Naruto struggled against the chains that Sasuke had bound him with. Shirtless and out of breath, he looked at Sasuke. Sasuke smirked, unbuttoning his ninja pants.
What?
Okay, I think that's enough. Why is there Naruto fanfiction in this library? Damien snaps the book shut and puts it back onto the shelf. Damien? That's a rare book from my private collection. Do they have my immortal here? Please, will you join me for tea? I follow Damien to a sitting room, where finger foods have already been set out upon a beautiful tiered silver tray. I take a seat at one of the high-backed chairs as Damien pours and serves me some tea. I can't believe we're having a high tea. I never thought I'd get to do this. Damien smiles to himself. What? It's a common misconception that high tea refers to the wealth or class of the people enjoying it, when in fact the high refers to both the later time of the day that the working class had to enjoy tea and the height of the tables on which they're served. Oh. My dear friend, we're currently enjoying afternoon tea. That's informative. Damien takes a seat next to me and serves me a tiny sandwich. Your home is really impressive. Seems like you really put a lot of work into this place. I like that. Thank you. No one's ever complimented my home before. Hell, I can barely get matching salt and pepper shakers in my place. And look at what we've done. I'm kinda jealous. That's very generous of you to say. What got you so interested in goth stuff? Well, when I was a young boy, my father... Did he take you to the city? Sorry? Huh. Do you guys see a marching band? I'm afraid I don't understand. You're serious? Of course. But it's, you know, the song. Amanda made me listen to it. Man, the Black Parade takes me back. Seriously? I'd love to see a marching band. Nevertheless, I've always had a love for art, history, and fashion. What started off as a small hobby of collecting taxidermied animals grew into sort of an obsession. It's a privilege to be able to appreciate the lives and culture of those who came before us, I think. Why not go all the way? I like not dying when I catch a cold. He takes a sip of tea. I can acknowledge that there are very many terrible things about the Victorian era, and to try to live a life that strictly aligns with those ideals would be admittedly horrid. But I think it takes a critical mind to truly appreciate something to the fullest, to be cognizant of its flaws and love it all the same. Tell me, Spicy Boy, do you have any hobbies? Oh man, I do, but I don't know if I care about anything the way you care about this stuff. Well, I'd love to hear about your interest. Hearing someone talk about things they're passionate about is intriguing, and quite honestly, rather attractive. Oh. Please do tell me about your hobbies. Quick, sounds sophisticated. You know, Spicy Boy, you're not giving me a lot to work with here. Love me some word jumbles. The written word fascinates me. We spend so much time using words, you know? And I think people would appreciate them more if they had to unjumble them. It's poetic, really. Oh, so you're a writer. In a sense. We finish our tea and finger sandwiches.
Oh!
Come, I have one more thing to show you. Damien takes me around the back of his home, where a variety of flowers flourish in beautifully landscaped rows. A small stone path weaves through it, and butterflies flit lazily through the air. My garden. It's beautiful. Thank you. Victorians took flowers and floral arrangements very seriously. You see, it was considered uncouth to discuss personal and romantic relationships in public, so lovers and friends alike would use bouquets to send secret messages to each other. Each flower and plant is symbolic of different feelings. Even more interesting is that one flower could mean different things depending on the other plants it was paired with. One had to be extremely careful, as even the style in which the ribbon was tied around the bouquet affected the message. Damien leans down and plucks a gorgeous, bright orange flower off a vine. Lilium bulbiferum, the orange lily. What do you think this one means? Thou art the tightest? The orange lily is actually symbolic of pure hatred. Well. And that's precisely why floral arrangement is so challenging. What's your favorite type of flower? Snapdragons. 'Cause they're cute. And you can do that thing where you squeeze them so it looks like they're talking. What a lovely choice. I have to remember that when I put together a bouquet for you. Oh, he would put together a bouquet for me? Nobody's ever given me a bouquet before. I follow Damien down the footpath and admire more of his beautiful flowers. Wait, Alex did ever give you a bouquet? Suddenly a phone rings. What is that? Sounds like the Addams Family theme. Oh, Spicy Boy, will you excuse me? I must take this. He pulls a cell phone out of his pocket. I'm a little surprised it's not a rotary phone. Go for it. Damien smiles and walks back into the house. I take a deep breath and enjoy the heavily perfumed air. What a lovely yard. How does he keep all these flowers? This makes me wish I had put a little more effort into that garden Amanda and I tried to start one time. Our watermelons grew to the size of cherry tomatoes and then immediately died. Oh hey, a gargoyle. Oh no, I knocked over the gargoyle. Uh-oh.
Fix that guard.
Oh gosh, what are we gonna do? No, that's not it. You? What? No way. Gotta be this one, right? There you go. And then this. Ooh, we're running out of time here. And then this. Nice. That was pretty easy. Phew, that was a close one. Uh-oh, here comes Damien. He looks upset.
Ah!
Spicy boy, my sincerest apologies to have kept you waiting. There's an urgent matter that I must attend to, so I'm afraid I must take my leave. No problem, dude. Everything alright? Damien worries the hem of his coat with his fingers and looks away. Everything is perfectly fine, but it's Lucien. What's wrong? He appears to have, well, his teacher needs me to come to the school. Post haste. Do you need help? Oh, no, you don't have to. Let me come with you. Us dads gotta stick together. You're right. This is one of Lucien's more elaborate stunts. I would greatly treasure having another parent by my side. Let's go. Damien and I walk into the school and are immediately greeted by an anxious-looking Hugo. Oh man, what did he get himself into?
I don't know.
Hey Damien, you're here in record time. I wouldn't miss it for the world, dear friend. Wow, well, whatever it is, it doesn't seem like this is Hugo and Damien's first time to the My Kids Are in Trouble rodeo. What is it this time? This, Damien, you have to see to believe. Damien and I fall into step behind Hugo, who leads us through the busy corridors of the school. We pass by several classes in session, and I vaguely wonder if Amanda's around. Hugo eventually ushers us into a small boiler room with a flight of rickety stairs leading down to the darkness. Watch your step. I can hear faint voices drifting up from the basement, and they don't sound happy. As I'm led into the depths of the school, I recall the antics I got into as an ex middle schooler. At least I have had enough sense to stay out of creepy basements. We find another teacher in a boiler room, tucked away in the back of the basement. With him are Lucien and Ernest, Hugo's son. Lucien has a bloody nose. Did they get in a fight? Thanks for coming. I can't make heads or tails of this. I look around the scene of the crime and see a bunch of bricks and some masonry tools scattered around. What happened here? Ernest punched me. Lucien tried to kill me. The room fell silent. I was not trying to kill you, dumbass. I was just trying to build a brick wall around you and see what would happen. You promised me there was wine down here. You tricked me. Whoa. Wait a second, Lucien. Did you try to cast of Amontillado, Ernest? I don't know what that means, sorry. I'm neither confirming nor denying that. I turn to Damien and whisper to him. What's cast of Amontillado? It's a classic Edgar Allan Poe short story where a man gets his enemy drunk, lures him down into a cellar with the promise of wine and a fine vintage, then buries him alive behind a brick wall. Well, that's really specific. It's a lovely story. So wait, Lucien, you tried to do that to him? I was curious to see how it turned out. I wasn't actually going to leave him there. What was the thought process here? That Ernest was just going to sit still while you slowly built a tomb around him? Well, it worked for like 20 minutes because he's an idiot. But then he realized that I'd lied about the wine. You were cackling maniacally. That sort of tipped me off. Ernest, 20 minutes. Dad, it took you 20 minutes? Son, we just did an entire 2-week unit on this cast of Amontillado. It took you 20 minutes to realize Lucien was leading you to an elaborate ruse? Did you even read the story? I read the first 5 pages and then read a review of the movie.
Whoa!
It's only 5 pages long and there is no movie. Yeah, you're right. I paid Lucien to read it for me. Actually, he didn't even pay me, so when you think about it, this was me teaching him a lesson. Damien and Hugo both have their heads in their hands. You guys are always telling me to engage in the literature, and I did. I don't see a problem here. Alright, I'm filing this under what the hell. Don't do whatever that was again. You two are both suspended for a week. Ernest and Lucian high five. God. The teacher starts to stomp up the stairs. Hugo, I'll cover your class. Take your son home. Mr. Bloodmarch, you too. Thank you for your mediation. We all head up the stairs and out of the school in tense silence. Lucian, Damien, and I all pile up into my car and begin the drive home. Lucian immediately puts his hood up and stares out the window angrily. I'm not going to therapy again. I know, son. It's entirely up to you whether or not you want to go. But I care about you, and I can see that you're struggling. So if you do decide that you would like to speak to a professional about your feelings, we can do that too. Maybe you can spend this next week looking for a summer job, I know how much you want your own car. Man, Lucian's like really trying. I can't believe Damien's keeping us cool. I'm impressed. Fine. Thanks for not freaking out too hard. I love you, son. Oh. Lucian's a little brat, though. Lucian continues staring out the window. Love you too. We spend the rest of the drive in relative silence. The moment we pull into the driveway, Lucian hops out of the car, slams the door, and runs inside.
Oh.
I didn't expect to have that conversation in front of you. He and I have a lot we need to work out. It's alright. And all things considered, Lucian's bricklaying was pretty good. So there's your silver lining.
Oh.
There's that, yes. Yeah, I really admired how you handled that. You were a lot more diplomatic with him than I would have been. I just want what's best for him, and I don't think yelling at him would either do either of us any favors. Excuse me. It really does. You're a good dad. See you around soon.
Oh.
It would be my honor and my pleasure. Damien bows with a flourish. Classy.
Huh.
I come home to find Amanda curled up on the couch with a blanket watching TV. I plop down next to her. Yo! What you watching? Tiny House Hunting Brothers Extreme Edition. Ugh, I hate this show. The couple on screen bickers back and forth while standing in an extremely small house made of recycled bottles. The Tiny House Hunting Brothers watch them with bemused expressions, both of their heads touching the low ceiling. I told you I wanted a 2-bed, 2-bath, shabby chic cottage. This house doesn't even have a bathroom. But, honey, the outhouse is only 20 yards away. It's not that bad. I am not pooping outside, Greg. Why don't they just get a regular-sized house? I don't know. How'd afternoon tea go? It got strange. We had to go to the school to pick up Lucian, since he tried to... He lured Ernest down to the cellar with the promise of a fine vintage, and then just tried to brick him in the wall, right? How did you know that? Has everyone read the story except for me? Lucian livestreamed the entire thing. This entire day is beyond me. But otherwise, it was a fun day. That Damien guy's a character, but he's really good company. And a surprisingly diplomatic dad. I dig his style. You know what? Me too.
Welcome. You've got dads.
Okay, are you ready for a second date with Damien? I'm ready for a second date. I think Damien's a really great dad. I really like how he interacts with his son. Let's send him a message. I had a lot of fun hanging out with Damien the other day. I wonder what he's up to. I open up Dadbook and start writing him a message when Amanda walks in the door. Dad, you got a letter. Oh, is it from Grandma? No, it's from Damien. Whoa, can I see it? Why did he give me a letter? We're the same cul-de-sac. Amanda hands me a piece of old parchment, folded into an envelope and sealed with purple wax. Damn, dude goes all out. He really has some style. I pry off the seal and unfold the letter. In the most beautiful calligraphy, the letter reads, Dearest Spicy Boy, I hope you'll find my continued correspondence endearing, rather than trying. One can only hope that my use of the slower, more traditional form of communication will showcase my sincere and earnest sentiment that I greatly enjoyed our time together. I wrote this hastily under the warm embrace of excitement, fearful that I may misstep and speak towards something unwelcome. For now, I hope that you might forgive my boldness. I will simply say that your company has greatly occupied my thoughts. While the afternoon may have been derailed by forces unforeseen, your companionship helped a great deal. Not only in the discipline of my child, but in the morale of my spirit, and for that I thank you. That said, Spicy Boy, if you allow me, it would mean the world to me if I could enjoy more of your time. Perhaps a trip to the cinema, followed by a moonlit stroll, would be to your taste. I eagerly await your response. With great respect, Damien Bloodmarch. Okay. Amanda and I both look up from the letter. Wow. He's good. So you gonna catch a movie with him? Yeah, I better message him on Dadbook to let him know. Amanda slaps my laptop shut.
Hey.
You have to write him back. Real letter. But my handwriting looks like two toddlers fighting over a crayon. I also like how Damien uses like those archaic S's that look like F's.
Yes.
Dad, you have to. He wrote you a letter. That's so cool. Will you help me? I need to class this up. Father, I was made for this. Here's what you do. Find tickets to a show that you two will like, then include them in the letter. Oh, that's classy. Amanda and I hop into my laptop and peruse showtimes. He doesn't seem like a romantic comedy kind of guy. Oh, here's one. Vampire Crusade 2?
Yeah.
Evil Never Dies. I don't know, that sounds kind of stupid. Actually, it's a critically acclaimed exploration into the ennui of existence. It really turns the vampire trope on its head. Really? Nah, there's just a lot of blood and vampire titties. Well, let's roll the dice. I purchase the tickets and print them out. Then sit down at the table with Amanda to try drafting a nice letter. I start writing. Damien, I do hope that this letter finds you in good health. Good one. What's next? I must confess of my amateur control of the written word. Geez, Dad, have some faith in yourself. Okay, we're trekking along. Let me know how you're feeling. You find me in good spirits, for I felt very much the same after our last encounter.
Yeah.
Nice. Ask him to hang out already. True art takes time, Amanda. With the strange turn of events, I found myself enamored of the situation at hand. Bring it home, Pops. It would bring me great pleasure to escort you to the cinema. Smooth. Calling it the cinema is a classy move. Enclosed, you'll find 2 tickets to Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies, which I'm sure you'll find both titillating and enjoyable. Nice. Namaste. And then I sign my name. My full name. Fancier that way. Spicy Boy Sarian. Is this okay? Amanda reads over my sloppy handwriting. You spelled his name wrong. What? Nah, just trying to keep you on your toes. Now all you have to do is seal it and put it in his mailbox. Can I seal with tape? It's not authentic enough. I have an idea. I'll be right back. Amanda leaves the room and returns with a candle, a lighter, and a small piece of wood. You gotta have a wax seal. She lights the candle, which starts to burn down and form a pool of melted wax. What's that other thing? Amanda pours some of the wax onto the folded letter and expertly presses the small piece of wood into it. She lets it dry for a second and pulls the wood away, revealing... Here it is, your sigil. A little kitten with a bow on its head. Awesome. Scrapbooking stuff always comes in clutch. I've always tried to do the wax thing, but it never works with regular candles. Well, I guess all there is to do is deliver it to his doorstep now, huh? Oh, I thought we were getting a carrier pigeon to do it. They don't exist anymore. I already called my guy. I have a pigeon guy. Marcus has the good pigeons. Yeah, pretty sure carrier pigeons are extinct. Don't get your pigeons from Anthony. They're no good. I don't want to know if any of this is true. I head outside and walk over to Damien's house. I slip the letter into the slot in his door and go back home. Mission accomplished. Now we play the waiting game. The night finally rolls around where I'm supposed to meet with Damien. The next day he had left another beautifully crafted letter thanking me for mine and agreeing to the evening. Amanda helps me pick out a nice outfit and I show up to the theater a little bit early. It's a chilly night and the theater is kind of crowded, but it's still nice. How do you do? I jump at the sound of his voice and turn around to see Damien right behind me. He almost gave me a heart attack. How long were you there for?
Ah!
I don't know, I just walked up. My apologies for frightening you. Was that thunder? Is it gonna rain soon? Nice touch.
Huh.
I didn't hear anything. What?
Huh. Oh my.
What? Regardless, the hour grows close. Shall we take our seats in the cinema? I must thank you again for purchasing our tickets.
Oh.
Please allow me to repay the deed in Sour Patch Kids, or perhaps Milk Duds. Let's do it. We get in line to buy snacks. As we're waiting, I hear a familiar voice behind us. Ugh, my dad's here. I turn around to find Lucian standing a few feet behind us with a gaggle of other goth kids.
Huh.
Lucian, how nice to see you. I didn't know you were coming to the theater. I'm glad to see you spending some quality time with your friends. Whatever, Dad.
Oh.
And what movie will you be attending tonight? My friends are making me see some kids movie about talking animals. I don't really care about it. Well, I do hope you enjoy your evening. We'll be watching Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies.
Ah!
You watching that? Yeah, I thought Damien would enjoy it. Good luck with that, Dad. Lucian rejoins his friends, and I look over to Damien. Good luck with what? Hey, it's nothing. My son left to tease. We wait in line for a little longer, and Damien buys us snacks. He seems a little nervous. I wonder what's wrong.
Huh.
Damien and I take our seats and settle in for previews. Glancing at him, I can see that he's sweating profusely and gripping his armrest. What? Is everything okay? Everything is perfectly fine. I'm so excited for this film. I'm a devoted patron of the arts, especially the scary arts. The scarier the art, the better. Are you scared of horror movies? Do you have a favorite horror movie? Of course I have a favorite horror movie. Mine is Halloween Town. Terrifying. Oh, interesting.
Huh.
That's odd. I don't seem to remember Halloween Town being that scary. I would have expected him to bring up some sort of strange foreign horror film that I'd never heard of. Damien's knuckles are turning white. It looks like he's about to rip the armrest off. Wait a second. Damien, are you afraid of horror movies?
Ah!
You must be joking. I love horror movies. The lights dim for the film.
Ah!
Damien screams. Oh no! I apologize. I was thinking about something far scarier than this movie, which is not scary at all. We settle in as the film starts. I offers Damien some licorice and he takes one. I take note of how much his hands are shaking.
Ah!
The title flashes across the screen in bloody letters. Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies.
Huh.
A pale man with long silver hair, glittering out red eyes, and well-oiled abs sits up in a coffin. Romulus Badblood. Awaken, my coven. Two more vampires slide the tops of their stone coffins onto the floor. Brother, is it time? Yes, husband, but also mortal enemy. It is time. The three look at each other and then to the camera. For the Vampire Crusade, this rules. The trio of vampires flies off into the night as foreboding organ music plays in the distance. I somehow get lost in the movie. As dumb as it sounded, it's actually a pretty fun flick.
Ah!
We get to a tense moment of the movie where Romulus Trueblood sits at a truce meeting with the general of the human army, whose wife Romulus has fallen in love with. Romulus, it's good to finally meet you. General, I agree. It's good to finally blood you.
What?
Romulus leaps out and slashes the general's throat. Blood spatters over everything, including the camera.
Ah!
Damien screams again, reflexively grasping my hand. Oh. I immediately blush, forgetting about any vampires or blood or vampiric blood.
Ah!
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Damien retracts his hand and places it back into his lap. I was writing a novel in my head about the blood magic, and I got to an extremely scary section. Damon goes back to quietly stressing out over the movie. It's kinda cute that he won't admit that he's afraid of it. I wish he would hold my hand again. Aww. Maybe I could do something to try and make him feel more comfortable. I've got it. I'll do what all dads do best. Talk during the movie. Let's tell a dad joke. Where does a dog go when it loses its tail?
What?
Where? To the retail store. I yelled that last bit a little too loud for a crowded movie theater, but I can see a smile form on Damien's face.
Uh-huh.
Good one, spicy boy. The rest of the movie goes by relatively smoothly, with only a few whimpers from Damien. Maybe he would have liked the romantic comedy better. We get to the final scene of the movie, where Romulus Badblood and the general's wife embrace each other, and it is script. It appears that the true Vampire Crusade was the Vampire Crusade in our hearts, our cold, unbeating hearts. Romulus and the general's wife begin making out, hard.
What?
The film fades to black and the end appears on the screen, but then a hard cuts to Demetrius and his rival lover Carmela, who watch the two from afar.
Huh.
Oh no, twist ending. Our bloodline has been pure for 1,000 years. Romulus has betrayed us by loving a human woman. It will only be a short time before the next Vampire Crusade 3. Evil Must Die Again. Did I really say the title? More thunder, more ominous organs, the movie fades out again, and a bloody question mark now accompanies the end. The end? Damien and I walk out the movie theater amidst throngs of chattering moviegoers. He's a little more pale than I remember, but otherwise, he survived the encounter. He even seems kind of invigorated.
Oh.
What an interesting film. While the premise admittedly struck me as pedestrian, I was intrigued by its harrowing love story and great attention to detail in regards to vampiric lore. Yeah, it was pretty good. A lot more vampire titties than I thought there would be.
Oh.
Come, the night is young. Let's take a stroll. Damien's making a point of not telling me where he's taking me. Still, I'm enjoying the walk and the cool night air. Being alone here with Damien is a lot better than being in a crowded theater. Lovely night, isn't it? As lovely as the company, yes. Smooth talker. He thinks I'm lovely. Damn, okay. Here comes the smooth response. Thanks. Thanks, dude. No problem. Crushed it. We both stand there feeling a little awkward. I sure am one smooth operator. Are you getting a little hungry? We could maybe stop off and grab something to eat.
Oh.
Worry not, friend. I've a plan. We turn the corner and are greeted by the gates of a cemetery? What? Are we going in there? A little bit of Victorian flavor, spicy boy. Trust me. I'm a bit nervous, but Damien hasn't led me wrong yet. I follow his lead as we walk into the cemetery. Statues of angels stare down at us as we follow a path through the faded tombstones. As we crest a small hill, we get to a beautiful view of the city. The nightlights sparkle around us. I gotta hand it to him. For being in a cemetery, this is strangely romantic. Aw. Picnicking in graveyards is an old Victorian tradition, an appropriate finish to an evening after a vampire movie, wouldn't you say? With a flourish, Damien produces a blanket and a picnic basket. Where the hell do you get that? Wait, where were you hiding that? Under my cloak? Oh, right. Damien unfolds the blanket and we both sit down, gazing out of the city lights. He produces a bottle of red wine and a fine selection of cheeses. In the Victorian era, there were no public art galleries, parks, or botanical gardens to speak of. Once rural graveyards became a more popular alternative to church burials, they became the only place that people could see beautiful plant life and fine sculptures. That makes sense. This is pretty nice. I have a question though. How are you so okay with being in a graveyard, but you had trouble handling a scary movie?
Ah!
I wasn't. He sighs deeply. Okay, yes, I was extremely scared by that movie. I was not writing a book about blood magic in my head. I've never been good at those. I just feel as if because of how I look and act, people expect me to love horror films, so I must play the part. Truth be told, I don't know if I have the constitution for them at times. Damien, I'm so sorry. If I had known, I would have suggested another movie. It's quite alright. I actually did find myself enjoying this one. Thanks for your help. Thanks to your help.
Oh.
Graveyards, however, I think there's something rather beautiful about death. Cemeteries are traditionally built away from cities, away from the realm of the living, and it keeps us rather separated from it. To acknowledge death and become comfortable with it, I think, gives us a certain intimate knowledge of ourselves.
Ah.
To sit amongst generations of those who came before us, to be truly alive in the midst of so much death, brings me great comfort. Death helps me appreciate life, to savor every second. Man, that's deep. We sit and enjoy our food and wine. I don't feel scared anymore. Never thought I'd be comfortable staying alone in a graveyard at night, but I actually feel pretty peaceful. Suddenly, it doesn't seem like we're alone. Off in the distance, I see a shadowy figure in the trees. What is that?
Ah!
I'm not sure.
Huh.
It noticed us. I'm paralyzed with fear as it begins lumbering slowly towards us. Its shape taking a more animal form, more feral. I look to Damien for help, but he's just as afraid and transfixed as I am. What if it's the Dover ghost? I want to scream, but it's stuck in my throat. The creature is getting closer, moving faster.
Ah!
Woof. Oh. It's a dog. As it finally comes into the light, the friendliest, dumbest little Boston Terrier I've ever seen pulls its owner towards us. It's Robert's dog. The dog trots over to Damien and sniffs at his hands. Damien looks ecstatic. He ruffles the dog's fur happily. What a beautiful dog. Hey. We both look up, not expecting to see... Thanks. Robert, what are you doing out here on this lovely evening? Hunting cryptids.
Huh.
What? What? I didn't know you had a dog. This isn't my dog. I found her wandering in the street. I put a leash on her, and now we're walking around this graveyard together. Hunting cryptids.
Oh.
Damien and I share a look. May I give her a treat? Sure. Wouldn't give her cheese, though. Not to worry. Damien reaches into the depths of his cloak and procures a small dog treat. What else is he keeping in there? Man, it's like a Mary Poppins cloak. The dog laps up the treat and crunches away, tail wagging furiously. Damien continues to smooth down her fur. Thanks. My absolute pleasure. Damien shakes the dog's paw. Lovely to meet you, my friend. May our paths cross again. Robert and his dog disappear into the darkness again. Damien stares after them. I didn't know you liked dogs. Victorians loved dogs, actually. Most Victorian women of high fashion would always be accompanied by a small dog such as a terrier or a Maltese. I, think big dogs are nice too. Yeah, man, dogs are cool. I do believe we've had enough excitement for one night. What say we make our way home? Damien hops to his feet and extends a hand to help me up. I gladly take it, as my knees aren't what they used to be. He picks up his picnic basket and leads us out of the graveyard. As we begin to walk home, I take one last look at the cemetery. It really is beautiful. Like a proper gentleman, Damien walks me to my doorstep. Thank you ever so kindly for your company tonight. Damien, it was my pleasure. Spicy boy, if you'll allow me, it would bring me great joy to offer you a token of my affection. Damien reaches into his cloak and pulls out a folded monogrammed handkerchief. He presses it into my hand. Wow, thank you, Damien. I'll use this to dry my tears for those I've lost. A noble purpose. Damien shuffles to his feet. I just want to say that it's rare to find someone like you. Someone who's open to my eccentricities. It's nice to feel so accepted. Thank you. Damien gives my hand a quick squeeze. So romantic. Damien blushes and hastily retracts his hand. I must take my leave. Good night. Before I can say anything else, he's gone. I unlock the door and step inside.
Hey.
Like a whirlwind, Amanda runs from the window and plops down on the couch, trying to look nonchalant. Hey, Dad, what's up? Were you watching me from the window? No, I was just, Okay, yes. How was the movie? Lots of vampire titties. Told you. But as it turns out, Damien is Wait, Amanda doesn't need to know that. I'll keep it between me and Damien. Scary cool. Yep, he's so cool it's scary. Nice save, Spicy Boy. Did you know that graveyards used to be a place to throw parties? I think I'm misremembering that. Wow, that's pretty punk. Also, we saw a dog. Definitely thought it was a werewolf for a minute though.
Yeah.
How can you be so sure it wasn't a werewolf? How can you be so sure I'm not a werewolf? And how can I be so sure you're not a werewolf? Amanda's eyes narrow. I don't trust you. Nor I you. We make intense, wary eye contact for a second. Anyway, I'm calling you for the night. Don't stay up too late, will ya? I'll try not to hollow the moon past midnight. Alright, that was our second date with Damien. Damien is smooth as hell. I love him.
Wow. My stars, this... Never in a million moons have I had a date such as exquisite as this one.
He's so cute. Okay, we're gonna get ready to go on our third date with Damien. He is like every dad. I always think they're like not that cool at first, you know? Ever since we had that picnic in the graveyard, Damien and I have been spending a lot of time together. We go on nighttime strolls pretty regularly. In the graveyard? He was so impressed with the first letter I wrote him that he insisted we only communicate by post instead of through dad book. I initially protested, but he gave me one of his old signet rings to use as a seal for my letters. I just couldn't say no. Hanging out with that goth dad again? Please, Amanda, you know his name. And yes, be honest with me here, Pops. Is he actually a vampire? I remember you inviting him into our household that one time. I've seen The Lost Boys. I honestly would have preferred trying to see if he could walk through the threshold of our home under his own power. Yes, Amanda, I have become Damien's familiar. I am compelled under his curse. I'm sorry, sweetie.
Aw.
Turn into a bat. I don't think What's the point of being a vampire if you can't even turn into a bat? Well, okay, I'm off.
Huh.
Are you taking the car, or are you flying off into the night on the leathery wings of a bat? One of those. While I'm out, you can throw away the garlic bread that's in the freezer so I don't die. That would be great. I'm keeping it there as insurance. You understand, right? That's my girl. Damien and I walk along the water's edge, chatting. Damien's cloak. He hates it when people call it a cape. Damien's cloak flutters behind him in the breeze. This is gonna be a silly question, but why do goths wear black? Gothic subculture has always been associated with death, so it would make sense that the style surrounding it would be greatly influenced by mourning.
Huh.
Interestingly enough, though, was that in the Victorian era, Queen Victoria herself mourned the death of her late husband for 10 whole years, wearing black for the rest of her life. If that's not goth, I don't know what is. I have another question. Go ahead. How are you so comfortable with death? You mentioned in the graveyard that it helps you appreciate your life? Or something?
Oh,
I've experienced several losses over the course of my life, and I truly believe the only manageable way to cope with it is to accept that death is simply a part of the living.
Ah.
It's a single universal truth for every human who has ever lived. I am going to die, you are going to die, and life carries on without us. Doesn't that make you feel scared? Not at all. Without the advances of modern science, death was everywhere in the Victorian era, and yet funerals were major social functions. The Victorians were obsessed with mementos of their loved ones, even going so far as to take elaborately staged photographs of their dead relatives. Yeah, that's pretty creepy. The minutiae of mourning was so complex that there were set periods of grieving that were deemed acceptable based on who in your life had passed. Now we don't have any of that. If you lose someone, you end up feeling lost yourself because we have no modern equivalent of those formalities. We need to allow ourselves time to grieve, to feel that loss fully, but not allow it to consume us. So, no, I'm not afraid of death. I believe it is a waste to spend your life dreading the end of it. The time we have here is brief and fleeting and occasionally cruel, but it is at all times precious. To stare death in the face and live despite that, I think, is a noble existence. Let's save the mourning for the dead. Man, wow, that's beautiful. I can see the moonlight in the bay glint of Damien's eyes. He smiles. We turn to the harbor and watch ships pass, breathing in the salty sea air. I look to Damien again and can't help but be entranced by his charm, his mystery. I find everything about him so fascinating. I lean in closer to Damien, closing my eyes as I do so. I'm so sorry. I have to take this. Damien steps away from me to answer his phone. Oh no, I hope it isn't Lucian again. After speaking in hushed tones for a few moments, Damien returns to me. Everything okay?
Oh my.
There's an emergency. Lucian? No, thankfully, but I must take my leave. Oh, okay. Is there anything I can do to help? Dads have to stick together, right? You know it. Then come. There isn't time to waste. After a short drive in silence, we arrive at a rundown building on the outskirts of town. Where are we? It's better if I just show you. I push the surprisingly heavy door open and find myself in a dimly lit waiting room. A few rickety chairs line the walls, and there doesn't seem to be anyone behind the front desk. There are a few paintings and pictures on the wall, but they're so nondescript I'm still unsure of what kind of place this even is. Wait here for a moment. I'll be right back. Damien walks off down a corridor, his boot heels echoing through the halls of this seemingly empty building. It's actually pretty nice. Distant howls echo from some place I can't see, and there's a faint scratching sound, like claws on tile. I cautiously peeked down the hall and find stall after stall of scared-looking dogs. A few of them notice me and skitter up to the chain-link fence, sticking their noses through to sniff at the air. What have I gotten myself into? Suddenly, the lights shut off. I panic, unsure of where I am or how I can get out. I stumble through the darkness, my breathing getting heavier and heavier. Damien? The lights finally turn back on. Hey, sailor. Oh no, not Mary. Mary? What are you doing here?
Ugh.
You aren't here for the fight club? I don't want to get punched in the face. Great, because this is an animal shelter. A what? We take care of stray animals, and then people adopt the stray animals. Didn't you see the pests when you walked in? Oh, sorry. I didn't really expect to see you volunteering in an animal shelter.
Give it a rest, buddy.
Wow.
Ugh.
Okay, kid. Way to put me in a box. Dames, you hear this baloney? Just one moment. The thunder cracks and the door bursts open. Appearing from the shadows, I see... Damien? Hey. Aw. It's Damien. He looks completely different. No cloak, no Victorian-era clothing, no makeup. I wasn't planning to share this side of me until much later, but I'm not as goth as you think. I'm a systems administrator for the IT department of a realty company. I wear tennis shoes to work, and I listen to Bruce Springsteen. I enjoy going to the hardware store and looking at storage solutions. And I volunteer at this animal shelter in my spare time. I'm boring. I'm fascinated with Victorian history and the goth lifestyle. That much is true. It's just not all that I am. And I need you to know that. Oh, I hate to kill the moment here, but there's some pressing business that needs attending to.
Ah!
Oh, right. It's Duchess Cordelia. Again? Who's Duchess Cordelia?
Oh.
She's one of the pups, gets out all the time. She somehow learned how to open doors and now she's unstoppable. When did she get out? Damien actually looks really cute out of his, goth wear. You know how it's someone who wears suits all the time looks really cool in casual clothing? And then people who always wear casual clothing look really cool in suits. This morning, I went to sing sea shanties to the cats, and when I came back, she had already bolted. I have to stay here with the pets, so I need you two to go and find her. Of course. Where could she be?
Come on.
She always ends up running off to the same places. Here, let me draw you a map. Mary started scribbling on the back of a pet adoption form. She's very smart, ruthless even. You need to stay on your toes and get her back by sundown, or else she turns into a werewolf and starts eating people. What? You're a perfect little peach, spicy boy. We just don't want her to be stuck outside when it's cold. Oh. I'll grab some treats and we can hit the road. So that's why he has treats in his cloak. Okay, that makes sense. Damien and I look over the map Mary created for us. Oh man, I'm Nerd's house? Mary's sick pad. At least you're not the other Nerd's house. Looks like you're moving up in the pecking order. Is that... who's the other nerd? Coffee Dad. Kale. That's Craig. Who's the other nerd? Oh, it's Hugo. Pfft, I knew that. Congrats, kiddo. Where should we head first? Let's go to the cul-de-sac. Damien and I exit the parking lot and start driving around town. I look over to him. He seems concerned. Shouldn't be too hard to find the Duchess, right? She's a pretty big pup. Mary wasn't kidding when she said that dog was smart. One time she correctly guessed the winner of the Kentucky Derby. What? It was a really great year for Bark Bark Bark. I don't know. What do you think our odds are, Spicy Boy? Abandon all hope, you who enter here. But lo, look upon God's creation and retch with horror at what he hath forsaken. Hell is empty, and all the devils are here. Is that Shakespeare? Nice. I thought that would cheer you up. Let's hope for the best. We got this. We drive through the cul-de-sac and everything seems to be pretty normal. It looks like Brian's doing some yard work. We pull into Brian's driveway and hop out.
I don't know about that.
Hey, don't step on the grass. I just mowed. Hey, Mario Batali. Have you seen any unusual activity in the yard today? Aside from your underwater lawn? Ooh, here we go. How dare you? I take my lawn care very seriously.
Oh no.
Spicy boy, please. You haven't seen a dog run through here, have you? Well, a little while ago I heard Maxwell barking at something. When I came outside, my garden had been torn to shreds. It's gonna take forever to retill the soil. That could be a dog. Or rather feisty raccoon. Whatever it was, it must have been hungry. Ate all my tomatoes. I'm very sorry to hear about your garden. If you need assistance restoring it to its former glory, please don't hesitate to contact me.
Oh.
Will do, buddy. Good luck finding that dog. She's probably still hungry. I wonder if she's looking for more food elsewhere. Let's go to the coffee spoon. There's probably food there. We park in front of Matt's coffee shop and walk inside. It seems like a slow day. Matt sits behind the counter, reading a book. Hey, Matt.
Hey.
Didn't expect to see you two today. What's up? Have you seen any stray dogs around? Actually, yeah. I caught one digging through the trash earlier. It ran away when I tried to get closer, though. Did you see what direction it ran in? Matt thinks for a second. Might have been running east, I think. That pup tore through 3 pans of old Right Said banana bread. Want to take some for the road, just in case? Sure thing. Matt packages up a slice. Thanks for the slice. The road slice. This banana bread is going to be so good. I think he meant to give it to you for the dog. Right. I meant it's going to be so good for the dog to eat. I feel like we're on the right track. Do you think? If we keep this up, we'll find the Duchess in no time. Hey, if you like dogs so much, why don't you have any? Lucian is severely allergic. I wouldn't put him through that. But there are still dogs in my life, so for that I'm grateful. Oh, he really cares about his son. There's about to be one more dog in your life, buddy. Splendid attitude. Let us not waste any more time. Verily. Let's head to the softball field. I think that's where we go next. We drive to the softball field. Looks like Craig's team is practicing. I wonder if any of the kids saw something. Craig spots us and jogs over, softball bat slung over his shoulder.
Oh.
Hey bros, what's up? Craig, you wouldn't have happened to see a dog around here, have you? One escaped from the animal shelter and we're trying to locate her. I don't think so. Maybe one of the girls saw something. Girls. Hi, Amanda's dad. Hi, Lucian's dad. We have names. Girls, have you seen any dogs around? Yeah, we have names, but I don't think they're gonna call us that. There's a big dog here earlier. She ran off a while ago, though. I don't think she had an owner, but it really wanted to play. We tried to play fetch with her, but she just took the softball and ran. I think she ate it, actually. She was a lot of dog. Here, take another softball. Might come in handy later.
Ah.
Many thanks, Craig. Alright, where to next? The Bayside? We arrive back at the Bayside. Just like old times, eh? I remember it as if it were yesterday. I mean, earlier today. So what do you think? Any sign of the pooch? None yet. Although, who knows if she made it onto any of these ships. The Duchess would do that? I wouldn't put it past her to know how to navigate in rough seas without a compass. Very smart. Pops? Damien and I turned to see my daughter. Hi, Amanda. Amanda, what are you doing here? Do you think I just stayed inside all day vegging out on the couch and watching TV? Oh, sorry. What are you doing? I'm heading home to go veg out on the couch and watch TV.
Oh.
Had to get a burrito first. Young miss, have you seen a dog around here? Oh, you bet. I saw a Pomeranian with a bow around its neck. I saw a big old Doberman named Henry. There's a stroller full of Yorkies. A Greyhound, a Golden Retriever. I have a Yorkie. Did you see a Mastiff anywhere? No dice. I would definitely have remembered that. I gotta run though. This burrito has about 10 minutes before the cheese breaks down. The molecular structure of the tortilla makes it all soggy. You understand? I do? Of course. Have a lovely evening, Miss Sarian. That's it. The Duchess went east from the coffee spoon, but there's no sign of her here. I suppose we need to go not so east. I fear that the hours are growing short. We must make haste if we're to find the Duchess by sundown. Damien's looking more stressed by the minute. I gotta think of something to lighten the mood. Knock knock? Who's there? Death cult. Death cult who? Death cultivate a little more chipper attitude, friend. We're gonna find that dog. A slight smile cracks on Damien's lips. That's better. I keep reading Damien directions from the map as we drive around town. Let's go to the aquarium. Damien and I stop by the aquarium. Everything looks in order here, but it might help to get out of the car and take a look. We're at the penguin exhibit. Do you see anything? No dog here. Not even any sign of her. Did you know that penguins are considered the goths of the sea? Damien, I want to believe you so badly. Alright. Let's go back to the cul-de-sac. We arrive at the cul-de-sac to find everything looking normal except... Uh-oh. Hugo's front door is wide open. She can open doors. This is classic Duchess Cordelia. A telltale sign. We should approach this with caution. Whatever goes down there, I've got your back. We creep up onto the porch and step inside. There, sitting in the center of Hugo's living room, like she owns the damn place, is one of the biggest dogs I've ever seen. Man, that's a big dog. A big pupper. Woof. Well, she hasn't broken anything in here, yet. Wonderful. Now all we have to do is get this leash on her before she tries to escape again, and get out of here before Hugo comes home. Easy peasy. Duchess, come here. The Duchess eyes Damien warily. As he approaches, she begins to growl. She's on her guard. We'll need another plan. Let's give her the banana bread. I reach into my pocket and pull out the slice of right said banana bread Matt gave me. Duchess sniffs the air and hones in on the bread. Come here, girl. Nice and easy. I've got some yummy, homemade, vegan, and possibly gluten-free banana bread, if that's what you're into. The Duchess cautiously approaches me and gives the bread a good sniff, before gently taking it from my hand and dropping it on the ground. Like dogs always do for some reason. She curls up and starts munching on the bread. Success! Damien walks behind the Duchess and attaches the leash to a collar. She immediately notices and starts whining. We got you now, pupper. It's time to go home now, Duchess. Damien gives a tug on the leash. She won't move. Duchess, what happened to our rapport? You and I used to be bosom buddies. She still doesn't move. She's huge. There's no way we could even try to lift her. Well, this is a weird situation to be in. I think we're literally trespassing in our friend's house with this large dog. What are you nerds doing? Ernest stands in the doorway with a plate of pizza rolls. What flavored pizza rolls are those? Pepperoni blast. Nice. The Duchess noticed Ernest and starts pulling against the leash. Why is this dog in my house? It's along. The Duchess suddenly breaks free from Damien's grip and hurls towards Ernest. Uh-oh. Ah! Ernest and the Duchess fall to the ground. Pizza rolls fly everywhere. This is bad. Ernest, are you okay? Ernest feeds the Duchess a pizza roll. Hey, she likes pizza rolls. Ernest sits up, but the dog keeps licking his face. Aww. Oh. Hey. Hugo stands at the door looking like he's at a loss for words.
Huh?
What? Why you guys... Whose dog is this? It's a long story, but it involves a large dog who knows how to open doors. Woof. Hugo, may I present to you Duchess Cordelia. How do you do? Woof. We're friends. The Duchess looks at Ernest's face. She's from the local animal shelter. She got out and we've been chasing her all around town. Your house was her final stop. Dad, can we keep her? Ernest, I don't know if we're set up to take care of a...
What?
Wait, did you just call me Dad? Come on, please, look how cute she is. Wait, Ernest doesn't call Hugo Dad? Hugo sighs.
Oh.
We'd been talking about adopting a dog for a while. But you have to promise me you'll take care of her. Yeah, I'll give her all the pizza rolls her little heart desires. I suddenly remember what's on the back of this map and pull a pen out of my pocket. Got the forms ready for you if you're interested. I'll even waive the adoption fee since, you know, we technically broke into your household.
Oh.
Well, alright, it's a deal. Hugo steps onto the porch with us and signs the form, while Ernest plays with the Duchess inside. He sure seems happy to be happy with his new friend.
Oh.
I know, he called me Dad. Can you believe it? Damien places a hand on Hugo's shoulder. I certainly can. I think this will be really good for Ernest. It should teach him some responsibility. You should probably look into getting better locks on your doors, though. The Duchess is a wily one, but do right by her, and she'll love you too forever. Thank you. That worked out all nicely. And long story short, the Duchess now lives in a happy home, and neither of us were charged for breaking and entering. So all in all, I think it was a fine day's work. Nice work, you two. Spicy boy, you could be a valuable asset to our team of volunteers. You know, if you ever feel like petting some puppies, hit me up. Mary, I always feel like petting puppies. Good to know. Well, I'll catch you fellas later. Hey, Mary's not so bad. Mary starts to leave. And one last thing. Damien's been telling me about you. Glad he finally brought you around. Oh, yeah. Damien's my special boy. I love him. We go way back, and I got a vested interest in his health, success, and well-being. If you ever hurt him. Mary. You can fill in the blanks. I gulp. Yes, ma'am. Mary leaves me alone with Damien. So, about the whole goth thing. I, completely understand if you aren't interested in me anymore. What? No, I'm completely interested. Am I missing something here? I'm not a cool goth prince. I'm boring. I own 5 pairs of tennis shoes. I wear dumb glasses. Don't you care? You look so nervous. Damien, do you really think I only like you because of all the goth stuff? That's all cool, but the best thing about you is how passionate you are about the things you love. Yeah, I love Damien. History, art, Victorian fashion, dogs, storage solutions. It doesn't matter what it is. You care. And that's awesome. And also, the glasses are very cute. They are very cute. You don't think I'm boring? At all? If you're boring, then I don't know what that makes me. I spend too much time online shopping for flashlights. I get excited to mow my lawn on Saturdays. I get cranky about commercials being too loud. I've even been thinking about making my own peanut butter. Man, I relate to them so hard. Then maybe we can be boring together? It would never be boring if it was with you. Smooth, spicy boy. Damien suddenly closes the gap between us and pulls me into a hug. He buries his face in my shoulder. His hair smells like lavender and rosemary. I was so scared you wouldn't like me. Quite the opposite. Damien pulls away for a second and looks me in the eyes. Without colored contacts, his eyes are so dark and soulful.
Oh,
May I kiss you? Thou art welcome. Verily, you may take upon yourself the... You know what? Just kiss me. He smiles slightly and leans in, giving me a gentle kiss. Damien pulls away for a second, pulls away and gives me an intense look.
huh.
Do you want to help me take care of the puppies? Yes. Yes, I sure would. Damien and I arrive back at the cul-de-sac, our fingers intertwined. Oh, like a proper gentleman, he walks me to my doorstep.
Huh.
This was lovely. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for everything. I'm very happy I can be myself around you. I'm glad. But I have one request.
Huh.
What's that? Can we keep sending each other letters? But of course. Damien kisses me one last time before turning around and heading home. Amanda runs back to the couch from the window and tries to look as nonchalant as possible. Hello, Father. I was sitting here, on the couch, this entire time. Hi, Amanda.
Ah.
So, are you guys, like, starting a vampire coven together? Oh, plot twist. Mothman. Damon's actually Mothman. I didn't see it coming either. Genius. Well, whatever's happening, I'm really glad you two are happy. You deserve it, Dad. Aw. Aw, shucks. Amanda is such a sweet little cinnamon roll. I'm gonna head to bed. Catch you in the morning?
Ah.
Sure thing. I make my way to my room and fall into my bed with my heart full, excited for the days to come. Alright, that was our last date with Damien. Damien is like the most precious dad ever.
I'm sensing a romance between us. A chemical romance.
I hate everything.
What? That's a band?
I walk over to Mary, who's having a lively conversation with Amanda. We have a real fluffy Samoyed right now. His name's Harold. Loves belly rubs. He always tries to look at your face if you get too close.
Oh.
Mrs. Christensen, thank you so much for telling me in great detail about every single dog currently at the animal shelter. Please tell me about the Afghan with 3 legs again.
Hey.
Sure, Quadro we call him. It's one of those ironic nicknames. You know, if you're really interested, I could probably steal one for you. Really? Nah, but I could get you in to meet all of them. We always could use extra hands around the shelter. And if those extra hands also happen to steal a dog, I'm glad you two are able to bond over cute dogs. Really warms my heart. Dad, we're having a moment. Hey, Sailor. Your kid's a good egg. Where's your goth prince? You two are usually attached at the hip these days. He's around. Stellar. Mary turns her attention to Amanda. It's not too hard to sneak a dog into college. Trust me, I did it plenty back in the day. At one point, I had 3 cats living in my dorm. I decided to leave them to it. All of a sudden, a huge dog leaps into my arms. Duchess! Hugo and Ernest run up to me. The Duchess gives my face a few broad licks and hops down. We're working on that. Got her in a disciplinary class. She's a wild spirit who runs where she may. I don't mind at all. Looks like the 3 of you are getting along nicely.
Oh.
She's a valuable addition to the clan. If I hold up my homework in front of her, she'll eat it. Cool. We'll deal with that later. Duchess Cordelia spots a squirrel and darts across the yard. Ernest follows her, laughing. He's actually been a lot more manageable lately. I think taking care of the dog is good for him. Thanks for breaking into my house, I guess. Anytime. I turn to spot Lucien, walking up to me. Yes, Lucian? Thanks for inviting me to your party. Anytime, bud. I know we had a rocky start, but I'm glad to know you. I hope you know how much your dad cares about you. Yeah. My dad's had a rough couple of years, and I know that it must not have been easy to raise me alone. He's kind of a weird guy, but I love him a lot, and it seems like you make him happy. So, you're cool in my book. Aw. Thank you, Lucian. That means a lot to me. Sure. Let me know if you want me to give you a stick and poke sometime. Thanks for coming by, Lucian. See you around, Spicy Boy. Looks like someone's been waiting to talk to you. I glance over to the back of the yard where Damien is sitting on a bench beneath our cherry blossom tree. He smiles at me.
Huh.
I'll leave you to it. Me and the Emmas are gonna get some ice cream. Love you, Pops. Amanda runs off to join her friends. I take a seat next to Damien as the last guests make their way out of the party.
Ah,
Did you know that in the Victorian era, they would call benches seedy boys? What? Really? I'm kidding, Spicy Boy. But what if? It's good to see you in your civvies again. Thank you. He actually really looks nice in his little uniform there. I had a revelation the other day, Spicy Boy, and I think it was largely due to your continued influence upon me. There was a version of myself that might have been embarrassed to show you my true form, my information technology form. But what you said about me, about how my passion was what you truly admired, that emboldened me to feel like myself regardless of how I choose to dress and act. Instead of separate entities, they are simply different facets of myself, a three-dimensional human being with his own thoughts, wants, and needs. I love dressing the way that I do, but feeling constricted by what I thought was my own personal brand made me lose sight of why I did this in the first place, to make myself happy. I place my hand on Damien's and feel a light squeeze. Looking up, I'm greeted by Damien's warm smile. I'm trying to be more comfortable with who I am, rather than dwelling on who I could be to other people. I can't stop smiling. I'm so proud of him. I am proud of him. Damien, I'm so happy you realized that you could be a dog-loving goth. Me too, Spicy Boy. Me too. I feel myself inching closer and closer to Damien. I go to brush a lock of hair out of his face, and am shocked at how soft it is. How is your hair so soft? Dog shampoo. Nice. I keep running my hands through his hair as he leans closer to me, placing a hand on the side of my face. He strokes my cheek with his thumb.
oh,
You know, public displays of affection were considered scandalous in the Victorian era. Damien pulls me in for a kiss,
oh.
but I think I can make an exception for you. Alright, that was the end of the Damien route. Damien's looking cute there on that tomb. Yeah, that was the last of the dads in Dream Daddy. And I think Damien's my precious boy. Damien's my precious boy. He's a precious dad. Yeah, I will be playing some other games. I know Tacoma is out, and I really want to play that because it looks really cool. I also want to finish Root Letter so I can get that out of the way. But yeah, that was Dream Daddy. I know there are other endings, but I don't think I'm going to get to them. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye. It would never be boring if it were you. It would never be boring if it was you. I hate it. I hate it. Okay. I followed Damien to his sitting room, where finger foods have